Hello friends and welcome back to ReddX, your source for the freshest daily Reddit content anywhere on the internet. Totally promise, swearsies. Anyways, today we're jumping right back into rSlash EntitledParents. You know how we do. There's definitely a fake story or two hidden in here, but we'll get to it when we get to it. Without any further delay, let's jump into it. Give me your phone. My kids want it. Great start, great start. Fantastic grammar. Text had been translated, so it isn't word. We're gonna read it exactly as it is, and I hope my brain doesn't explode. An encounter from about a few years ago when I was young. Not even a teenager, but I don't specifically remember how old. So this story happens in the lobby of a hospital. I had some throat problems, not important, and I'd come to get that checked. I had come with my father, who has the title of an important foreign diplomat, and when we go into crowded places, such as that hospital, we have a few guards with us. We had just finished and we were sitting in the corner away from all public, waiting for the reception to clear up so he could pay the bills. A few minutes pass and he goes to pay. I'm all alone with no one and no guards around me, although they kept the occasional glances to see if everything was okay. Along comes Karen and her hex spawn of 4 children. Not really the Karen by appearance, but boy, did her personality speak for itself. I was playing a game on my phone, a helicopter game or something, not important, and just minding my own business when one of the kids came over and looked at my phone. He just kept staring at the screen, and eventually asked what I was playing. I replied with the name of the game. Why do kids always do this? Is this really socially acceptable? He then watched for a few minutes, and the other children also came up, grouping around me. One of the guards took a glance and gestured if he should intervene, but I, not being that type, gestured him away. Now, all was goo, until one of the kids asked if he could play. I wasn't really comfortable, but I don't know why, I still let him play. You caved to social pressure. And he ran off with it. Well, the entirety of the hex spawn following, he went to his mother, and I quickly got up and followed him. His mother looked like she didn't care about the fact her son randomly had a phone, and just pretended to listen to his endless babbling about how I gave him the phone. And when I asked for my phone back, she quickly turned to me and the conversation goes as follows. Cast, EM entitled mother, entitled kid 1, 2, and 3, entitled kids, guard 1 and 2, the gods. And D is dad and me is OP. I asked for my phone back, entitled mother, sorry, what? OP, ma'am, can I have my phone back, please? Entitled mother, what phone? OP, that one, points to it. Entitled mother, my son found that phone, it's his. OP, no ma'am, he took it from me. Entitled mother, no, he wouldn't do that. Why would he steal from such a cheap slob anyways? I don't even think you have one. Oh my god, his phone. Me, being a kid, I'm speechless. Entitled Kid 1, who took the phone in the first place, came up with Entitled Kid 3, who was older than me. Entitled Kid 3 pushed me and told me to F off. I was thinking to look around for the guards because my brain at that time was a peanut. I slowly started sobbing and Entitled Kid 1 starts laughing as Entitled Kid 3 mocks my crying and calls me a baby and stuff, which just came out harsh to me at the time. I'm so embarrassed saying this. It was at this time that my dad was done with the bills and came around the corner to where I was sitting. Saw me crying a few feet ahead with some teenager mocking me. One of the guards quickly ran up and pushed Entitled Kid 3 aside. Guard 1, get back now! Entitled Kid 3 is taken aback, not expecting this to happen. Entitled Kid 3, what's your problem? Entitled mother screams, he pushed my son! He's trying to hurt us! Help! The security officer who had come up was in a suit, and you don't see that in my country often, so Entitled mother didn't think even the slightest bit that it was a security officer. At this point my father had come up, and he's pretty angry-tempered, but he kept his cool and shot some angry looks, with the officers left to speak with the woman. The officer who came to save me quickly took me aside. Guard 2, are you okay? Did they hurt you? OP, he pushed me, points to Entitled Kid 3. Guard 2, okay, I'll go talk to him. At this point, Entitled Kid 2 walks up to me. He has my phone in his hand and looks like the youngest. He hands me my phone and says, sorry, with a long face. I was taken to the car, and my father showed up sometime later, who said he had gone to talk with the reception to complain about the family. It's a pretty dumb story, but I guess I needed to post it somewhere. This is what happens when you raise up a few animals, you know what I mean? The mom, obviously, totally uninvested. She's over it. She's like, kids, just do whatever you want. Run around, tip the vending machines over, steal phones from people. God, what a nightmare. But OP, you never answered one very, very important question. Who was phone? Who was phone? Anyways, let's get into the next story. Entitled Mother smashes my laptop for playing a Satanic game. Oh, you playing that Satanic 06? It's a reference to Sonic 06. It's the worst game ever. To start off, I live in a city full of nut jobs, so I'm sitting in a coffee shop, one of the few open during this quarantine, playing Elder Scrolls Online. Entitled Mother and her kid looked around 10 or 12, came in and ordered a coffee, and sat down near me. My screen was visible in her view. She noticed me playing intently and asked what I was playing, and I told her what it was. Now on my screen was some enemies with destruction stabs, and when an attack is in range of your character, a rune is visible underneath you, and apparently Entitled Mother thought that this was a pentagram and flipped out on me. She called me a Satanist and a devil worshipper. I sarcastically said, yes, I worship my lord, Moloch Baal. That was the tipping point, because everything else is a blur after that. The next thing I knew, my laptop is in pieces and coffee is spilled all over the floor. I sat there in shock about what just happened. I noticed that the cashier told them to leave, which she did, but not before telling me that I need Jesus in my life. I had a lot on my computer. Games with mods installed, photos I can't get back, my entire music collection. Everything gone. Now I'm just stewing in anger and rage. I'm never taking my laptop into public places again. TLDR, edit. I'm not getting the police involved because of the quarantine. Courts are not open, and I have the money to buy a better, newer one anyways. Stop asking about getting the cops involved. It's not worth it to me. OP, I'm gonna tell you with the most love in the world that you stupid. Why wouldn't you get the cops involved? You don't really even have to get the cops involved. If you can get a copy of the tape or whatever, the coffee shop has some security cameras, you can take her to civil court. She'll pay for your laptop. Maybe you take that laptop money, put it with the laptop money you already have, and buy the beefiest gaming PC this side of the Mississippi. You know what I mean? I don't know why you've decided that you need to punish yourself and be like, oh, I'm not going to take my laptop into public places again. It's like, you're not the one with the problem here. It's obviously the entitled mother, but you've decided to punish yourself for no reason. Honestly, I don't think that this story is even real. Like, yeah, I don't want to get the police involved because of the quarantine, but yeah, I'm gonna go hang out at a coffee shop during the quarantine. What is this even? I don't have the time or energy for this right now, so we're moving on. Next story. Entitled Mother cuts the line in a store, gets kicked out for ignoring social distancing, lets her kids play with my dog, and then tries to get me in trouble because my dog bit her. What a title. Jesus. Hi, this happened earlier today, and I have a relatively bad memory, so I apologize for any missing parts of the incident in advance. I also apologize if there are any British words or phrases that some may not understand. Backstory. Since the lockdown was eased in England, I decided to take my dog, a doodle, out on a walk to the newsagent. The walk itself was nice, and my dog absolutely loves it. I also recently fully trained her to many things. She's 6, like staying in one spot until I say, being gentle with other dogs, and when eating small treats. Might as well address the name of my dog as well. Amber. On to the main story. We, me and Amber and I, had just arrived at the newsagent, and I told her to sit outside while I went inside to get a drink and a treat. The newsagent, we'll call him N, gives me some free treats for the dog every time I come around. Absolute legend. Note, there's a 4-person limit in the shop. Enter the entitled mother, K for Karen. It was the full package of a Karen. The bob cut, constant frown looking for something to complain at, etc. Newsagent tells her that there's a limit to the amount of people allowed inside, and she said, "But I'm only coming in for a couple of things." Yes, she did drag it on like that, and I couldn't help but giggle at this. Newsagent, I don't care. You can wait. Karen stomps off out the door. She comes back inside when another person walks out, and Karen cuts in front of me. OP, excuse me, but there's a line. Karen, You weren't in the line. You were miles away from the next person. OP, that's because we're social distancing. News agent, if you're going to ignore those measures, then get out of my shop. Karen,
Huh? What are you gonna do about it?
news agent, I will call the police on you if you ignore social distancing. Karen then throws a fit, grabbing glass bottles and throwing them on the floor. OP, what the heck is wrong with you? Karen,
What's wrong with me? I demand that you let me, as a free citizen, get everything I want for free.
news agent, get out of my shop or I will call the police. Karen stomps off again, she doesn't come back, and I pay for my drink, and news agent gives me a discount for having a brain. Love this guy. He gives me a treat for Amber, and I say goodbye and leave. But it still gets worse. Enter Entitled Kid 1 and 2. They're hitting my dog and putting dirt on her head. I was immediately pissed off. OP, oi, what the heck are you doing to my dog? Entitled Kid 1,
Ah! Just let us play with her, please!
OP, no, you're not friggin' playing with her. She doesn't like it. I snap my fingers and Amber walks over to me. I brush off the dirt and Karen marches up to me. Oh god, here we go again. Karen,
Why aren't you letting my precious babies play with your dog?
OP, they weren't playing with her, they were assaulting her. Back off. Entitled Kid 2.
Just give us the dog!
I argue with the entitled kids and Karen until I walk off because an argument isn't making it better. Both entitled kids start Fortnite dancing on me. Yes, Fortnite dancing. In 2020. Please let COVID-19 kill us all. Karen grabs her rock and hurls it at my dog. It hits her leg and Amber's immediately growling. Amber's rarely angry and gets pissed if someone attacks her. Duh. Karen then fakes a jaw drop and screams, clutching her leg. She was pretending that Amber had bitten her. She wasn't fooling anyone. There was this one guy who I'll call AL for absolute legend. He whipped out his phone and called the cops. I say that, but he was faking it. I've seen it done on this sub before on another post, and it is genius. So Karen ran off with Entitled Kid 2. Entitled Kid 1 still tried to get Amber, but failed when she growled at him. I thank the absolute legend and the news keep, who had just come out of the shop to see what the commotion was all about, and I headed on with my day. I hope I never run into those demons from hell, ever again. Amber's currently lying on my bed while I type. Her leg isn't broken or anything. Have a great day, and don't be entitled. There's a whole heck of a lot in this story that is super hard to believe. Why did nobody call the cops on Karen for destroying merchandise inside the news shop? Why did the dog just sit there while kids are hitting it and dumping dirt on its head? That's not funny. Why did Karen not get the cops called on her again when she's throwing rocks at the dog, which is totally animal abuse? You guys just kind of let her get away with it, and you're like, I'm gonna fake calling the cops so you'll run away. You're lucky that she did run away, because some Karens are stupid enough to stick around until the cops show up. And had she done that, you'd be in quite a pickle, wouldn't you, OP? I was totally, like, not believing the story, super uninvested, until the point where he said that the kids started Fortnite dancing and he wants COVID to kill us all. It kind of ended up bringing me back around. Because who hasn't had a day like that? Am I right? But anyways, let's hop into the last story, and then I'm going to get out of here. Entitled Mother wants me to give her daughter my wheelchair. Ooh, 3 hours ago. This is freshy fresh. I'll start with some backstory. I'm 16. I had broken my left leg and sprained my right foot in a car crash about 2 years ago. I used a wheelchair to get around the hospital for the 2 weeks that I was there. It was one of the wheelchairs that you can move yourself. I was told by the doctors to not put any pressure on either foot for the 2 weeks, but some idiots don't take no for an answer. Note, the obligatory this happened 2 years ago, and I'll try to recall this from memory as best I can. Note 2, on mobile, sorry for shite formatting. Finally, before we begin, meet the characters. Me, OP, who else? EM, Entitled Mom. NK, nice kid. He still gets the Entitled Kid voice though. I'm in the cafeteria in the hospital, pretty large place with plenty of seats, and I'm just about finished eating when I hear Entitled Mother calling for someone. I wasn't sure who she was calling for, but it was lunchtime, so I assumed she had just lost someone. Not a minute goes by and she storms over to me. Entitled Mother,
Jesus, are you deaf? I've been calling you for 2 minutes.
OP, oh, sorry, I couldn't hear you. Do you need any? Entitled Mother.
Yes, I do. My daughter's very tired, and I was wondering if she could use your wheelchair for like an hour or so.
Already I'm thinking, what the hell is she on about? She must be joking. Nice Kid clearly didn't want any of this. She was already looking away and trying to tell Entitled Mother that she's fine, she can just find a seat. OP, I'm sorry, but I kinda need this thing to get around, pointing to the cast on my left foot. Entitled Mother.
Please, it's only for an hour. We've been here for the whole night with her father. He's very sick.
OP, sorry to hear that, but I do need this. There are some benches over there if you need. Entitled Mother.
Oh my god, can you shut up and just do what I ask? We want to see her father and we can't bring the bench there.
OP, calm down and listen. I need to go now. I try to leave, as she's drawing a ton of attention to us, and I'm not a fan of people staring at me. I just get really nervous when they do, but Entitled Mother tries to block my path. Entitled Mother.
You're not leaving this cafeteria until this is sorted.
OP, it is sorted. You are not getting my wheelchair, and I am leaving. Nice Kid.
Mom, stop! I don't need a chair, I can walk.
Entitled Mother.
How dare you speak to your mother like that? I'm only trying to help you.
Nice Kid.
You're not helping anyone, and everyone is staring at you.
They were. By this point, the people in the cafeteria were telling her to let it go and please leave me be, but she wasn't having it. She claimed that
I was sexist
and that I was
faking my injury.
They went on like this for a few minutes, and finally a nurse came along and told Entitled Mother to either go back to the patient she's visiting or leave. Entitled Mother ended up leaving, but Nice Kid ended up going back to her dad. I ended up running into her on the way back to my hospital bed, and she apologized and told me that her mom does this a lot. I was pretty okay with the situation and found it quite funny, so I just told her that it doesn't matter that much. That was the last time I ever heard of Entitled Mother, but Nice Kid ended up in my secondary school, so we still talk from time to time. In terms of my leg, I was fine after 3 months of healing and rehab. Anyways, thank you for reading. This is a pretty average Entitled Parent story, but I thought I should still post it. Wheelchair theft is always inherently hilarious, OP. That's just a cold, hard fact of life. Honestly, I probably would have barreled right over Entitled Mother, but like, okay, we're done talking. Now move or I'm gonna run you over. And I'm a big guy. You don't want me to run you over. You're gonna end up with a broken leg too. And then I'll go to jail for assault because, you know, unlike most of the OPs we had today, Entitled Mothers always call the cops. But anyways, friends, I hope that you've enjoyed this episode. I hope that you will like, comment, and subscribe. If you did, maybe go ahead and share it around a little bit. Join us tomorrow. We're going to get some either pro-revenge or nuclear revenge because it's been requested a lot in the comments. I do see you guys. I am getting to it, so just hang in there. Tomorrow we'll have some of that. But anyways, I appreciate you guys listening along with me today. I hope that you'll keep yourselves safe out there and join us tomorrow. Don't forget to wash your hands. Please, please, please. 2, 3, 4, 5 times a day. Anytime you think about it. As soon as this episode is over, and oh look, it's over.